stood in awe of nobody. In his own world, and he knew no other, he was sure that he was the greatest man who'd ever been or ever could.
The newspapers of the 1880s dubbed him the Boston Strong Boy and his fistic holiness. But admirers didn't use those tags. Just saying John L. was enough. Boxing writer and historian Bert Sugar.
Maybe after George Washington, he was our first icon. He was the biggest thing we had between the Civil War and the Spanish-American War. In any field, he was a hero.
Born 1858 in Boston, he would be boxing's last bare-knuckle champion and the first heavyweight champion under the new marquee of Queensberry rules, requiring the use of gloves. Sullivan's popularity was aided by his feud with Richard Kyle Fox, a New York newspaper publisher who was then boxing's most powerful figure. In 1881, Fox sought to dethrone Sullivan with chosen challenger Paddy Ryan. But Ryan lasted barely 3 minutes against the champion. America adored this ring wonder, Bert Sugar.
There was even the great saying back in the 1890s, shake the hand that shook the hand of John L. Sullivan.
It is estimated Sullivan knocked out 400 to 500 men. Yet his fearsome reputation had more to do with his personality than his boxing skills.
He could walk into a saloon, which was the common currency in the 1890s, and say, I could beat any son of a bitch in the house.
Reportedly, it was Sullivan who said, the bigger they come, the harder they fall. He offered $1,000 to anyone who could last 4 rounds with him. No one ever collected. But there was still arch-enemy Richard Fox, and in 1889, he found another challenger, Jake Kilrain. Under a blistering Mississippi sun, after more than 2 hours of boxing, the ringside doctor told Kilrain's cornermen, your man will die if he fights anymore. When handed the $10,000 championship belt Fox made for the winner, Sullivan said, I wouldn't put that thing around the neck of a goddamn dog. This was a life lived loudly. Historian Hank Kaplan.
In those days, if you could go to a tap room and guzzle down a quart of whiskey one day and then fight the next day, some people thought that was great. And this is the kind of an image that he developed, that he could drink like hell and fight like hell.
As vicious as Sullivan could be, he nonetheless detested bare-knuckle fighting. By preferring gloves, he inadvertently helped boxing. Writer-historian Jack Fisk.
Sullivan could be given credit for making boxing reputable, not by self-design, but because he insisted on using gloves in the ring, which limited wrestling and dirty fighting and crooked fights. Boxing soon became legal in a lot of states where it was previously outlawed.
In 1892, age 34, unfit and withered by drink, Sullivan met Gentleman Jim Corbett and was knocked out, the only knockout and only defeat of his career. The words of writer W.W. Naughton.
Now the crowd was strangely silent. Though their appreciation of Corbett's accomplishment was unmistakable, it was a catastrophe, a national calamity. The defeat of the Boston Strong Boy, a man born to be champion.
In 1902, Sullivan filed for bankruptcy, listing debts totaling $2,658. His only asset, the clothes on his back. 16 years later, John L. was dead. Hank Kaplan.
It was an emotional funeral service, because this guy was bigger than life. It was tough for a lot of people to believe that they were losing John L. Sullivan.
On the bitterly cold day Sullivan was buried, dynamite was used to break the frozen earth. Former opponent Jake Kilrain was heard to whisper, just as John would have liked it.